Look at this shot. Oh, really kinetic. I love that. Everybody's ramping up. The music's ramping up. A call to arms. Wow. I recently saw my first World of Warcraft cinematic experience, The War Within, and I was so impressed by this. I got such a warm welcome from the World of Warcraft community. Thank you everyone for being so kind to me. I've read all of your comments about the lore and all of your suggestions that I should watch all of the cinematics in order. So that's exactly what we're going to do, starting with the first ever cinematic from World of Warcraft. If you enjoy our time together, please consider watching some of the other videos we've covered on this channel. All right, let's see the beginning trailer of World of Warcraft. Lore experts, let's do this. Help me out.
4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion.
Nice, like Tolkienian map. Love it.
Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated.
Okay, so there was an alliance.
The drums of war thunder once again.
Ooh, I like it. This is a sort of political, geopolitical backdrop. Nice prologue, fantasy narration, very classical. And look at this guy. Wow, the visuals are really cool. It has that sort of soft style. It's so nostalgic from this time, like early 2000s, late 90s CG. It looks incredible. And I love it. It has this sort of softness to it. And there's a later era where it almost became too crisp, too perfect. Look at this setting. What a set piece. I love it. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, it's giving me Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance vibes. I love it. Really cool tracking shot here through the woods with a wide angle. Absolutely awesome. The subject is really close to the right side of the frame, which is interesting. And that's exactly why they wanted to have her move all the way across the frame like that. Very, very nice. Whoa, that transition was amazing. Did you see that? We got to go back and look at that one. Incredible transition. Look at this guy. And what a, so I'm noticing color is the theme of this so far. Distinct colors. We had the white at the beginning to this beautiful mist blue with that elven woman. This guy's pure green. And now we have like, it's like a Minotaur guy. Wow, like a desert setting. I love this. They're showing a world that you're going to get to move around and you need to explore. So we're seeing like worlds. And look at this guy. Oh. I love it, kind of like FPS feel. And now we're starting to see, we saw world, and now we're going to see some war. You know, hence the title. Oh, it's like a mage. That's probably like supposed to be maybe a player character. Or maybe these are all player characters that you can imagine being. Look at this shot. Oh, really kinetic. I love that. Everybody's ramping up. The music's ramping up. A call to arms. This is awesome. This is much better than I thought it would be. Wow. Yeah, much cooler than I thought it would be. A much higher fidelity than I thought it would be. I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. We're going to go back and look at it in detail. There's stuff I want to talk about for sure. Like that transition was clean. Like I said, if you enjoyed our time together, make sure to sub. Come over on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter if you want to chat. Again, thank you everybody. A couple of you guys even joined the Discord and were providing me with lots of links to these cinematics and information. Thank you guys. Let's go back to the beginning. This is really cool. I love this. Like I said, sort of a Tolkienian of map layout, geopolitical layout, which is really appropriate, right? We seem to have sort of these races that Tolkien sort of created and popularized in fantasy, like the elves, the dwarves, and it's really cool to kind of pay homage to that with this sort of map. And it's always really cool, again, when you're entering a new world, this is sort of an invitation to you. It's like, all right, this is going to be lots of lore that you can sink your teeth into. There's a lot of different lands, there's a lot of different cultures, and it's just sort of, it's sort of a promise for the video. It's like, okay, for the game rather, where it's like, okay, you're gonna get to explore some worlds, you're gonna get to explore some cultures, and there's a conflict going on. Instantly ropes you in, you know? Yeah, this set piece was really cool, and it's crazy because this guy to me is what I pictured you know, sort of my like layman's understanding of World of Warcraft. Like, this is the type of people I picture in World of Warcraft, and it's kind of reminiscent of the graphics too. These kind of like blocky, strong characters, and I think it's awesome. And honestly, the Vista shot right here was really smart. You know, think like opening of Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, right? You get this awesome shot of the Misty Mountains, and it's just like, okay, this is giving you a moment to kind of take in the world, and then we go in and we go intimate, which is exactly what happens here. The transitions here, though, are very, very awesome, and there's a lot to talk about. So I love how they use sort of movement of snowflakes, and then it becomes leaves, and it's like, okay, what that also does is it says this is a wide world, this is a sweeping world, there's different climates in this world, there's different weather effects. This was a really cool sort of character intro shot. Both of those. This one was really good too. I like how this one kind of sweeps around him. Again, it's just like, oh cool, it's a dwarf, and then we pan out to this magnificent vista. Get a beautiful transition, and it's kind of like, what is she doing? She's maybe hunting someone. She's inspecting a broken blade. Again, it's an invitation to me. It's like, what is this world? What's going on? What's she investigating? Is she a mage? She seems to have like a staff. What's going on here? That was a cool transition too. We went from this sort of portrait lens here. It's not really portrait. It's more like a 50 millimeter. Really good for capturing sort of like, you know, mid-body shots of characters, and showing off the background without punching into an extreme close-up. I think it's great. And look at that background. It's got this blue, misty vibe to it. Very different from the snow. I love this part, though. So she starts moving, and we just get this kinetic feel. To me, this is what the game's going to be like, guys. You get to run around this world and explore. This is really interesting, too, because I kind of, right when I thought, it's like, man, they've got the subject kind of far over on this side of the frame. In my head, I was like, I would have moved her over just a little bit to this rightmost third. There's a rule called the rule of thirds in filmmaking, and really just in painting and composition is where it comes from. If you separate it into thirds, as in, you know, boom, 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 you want to place the subject on some of those lines that can create a really aesthetic feel. It has to do with the Fibonacci numbers and sort of the science of filmmaking and composition. But what it does is it draws your eye in a really creative way. Why they did this, though, is they moved her over a little far, was they had her then transition into this awesome transformation. She's able to, because of that choice, cover a lot of ground in the frame. So it's a very beautiful sort of like sweeping motion across the screen. And then this transition, I think, is my favorite one. We have this awesome kinetic feel. We're following. It's okay. I feel like I'm on the journey myself, right? And then we follow this panther down. We splash into the water. And then did you see that on the lens? You actually get this like trickling water down the lens. It's really cool. Now this guy, he's got to be like a necromancer or something. He's just standing there, and it's like destroying the earth around him. And I'm curious if this is meant to be a player class that you can use. And probably one of my main questions with this thing is, this character that these characters that we've seen so far, are they playable? Are they characters in the game? Are they in the story? Again, lore experts, help me out. I'm assuming we're just kind of getting a taste of each culture. Awesome. You get this kind of like golem that he's controlling. Really, really cool. Yeah, this one was cool too. This was another huge difference, and he's got like some magic dust or something. Again, what I like about this is completely out of context, this is what every player had, right? As far as the later cinematics, like the one that I watched, War Within, was the furthest away from this, right? Like, players been playing for 20 years. They have completely sunk their teeth into these characters in this world. For me to jump into there and to be able to enjoy it is quite admirable on their part, right? It says a lot about the filmmaking, because I have no idea what's going on. And you guys seem to say I picked up a lot of the details. In this case, there's nothing, right? This is a trailer from nothing. So it's automatically going to be a completely different project. This kind of trying to show off just the vague aspects of the world and what you're getting into. So what I like is that there's just these cool vignettes, and it's like, whoa, what's that? That looks cool. Who's this guy? Then we follow the dust down into the embers and flames of war. And this looks like an orc, if I ever saw one. Now, I assume, like you guys said, the character in War Within, his name was Thrall, and he's kind of this like storied character. Is this guy on that level, or is this meant to be just like orc guy that you can play as or fight? Again, this being so early, I don't know how much story they would really show off in this, because nobody knows it yet. You know? I love this. This is so cool. It's very reminiscent of Balrog versus Gandalf. In that shot where it kind of sweeps up the castle in the beginning of the Two Towers opening. And then, boom, really, really good choice there. And then, like I said, everybody has a call to arms, man. The music came up. Oh, that's a really cool shot. I wanted to talk about that one. That was really clever. And the respite in the music there, which is where it's building up, it's building up, it's building up. Gives you a moment to go. and then boom, you actually hear the rifle click. That was kind of cool. I love it. I love it. Now this, like, there's a lot of, you can tell they've really improved, and this is what's cool. We're gonna see the most improvement off of this cinematic versus War Within. This is literally the first one they did. For example, this is a little bit, it's a little bit tight. I would have definitely moved the focal length out a little bit, widened it out a little bit. This guy, it's like you can see what it is, but it's a little tight. That was a cool shot. This one too, like I said, it's not a bad shot, but like this subject, I can't see your head. Like I can make out from remembering that, oh, that's the girl from the other scene. But it's like, it's really tight from sort of a choreography standpoint. I would have pulled it out just a little bit, or, you know, had a little bit more movement in the camera just to give a little bit wider aspect to it. It's still an awesome shot. But again, just stuff that you can tell, like, they have a lot more of a cinematic sense in that last trailer. Like the sort of minutia of the details is a lot more sophisticated, which is to be expected, because I assume, much like sort of my favorite studio in gaming is Final Fantasy and Visual Works, who does their cinematics, and they have over the years as well expanded and gotten so much better to the point where now it's like, you know, so good. But when you look at the early ones, like, they didn't have the technology available because they were doing them in like 1997 and stuff. They did not have the technology available to do stuff of that caliber, right? Anyways, it's sort of a fake out there too. It's like, it looks like this guy is gonna slam down, boom, and then we actually switch over to, I think that's a new character. We haven't really seen that guy yet. Boom. And then World of Warcraft, yeah. And just, it's a great logo too, really good logo design in that, you know, there's a globe, there's that map I saw earlier, right? And it's like World of Warcraft. We saw World, we saw Warcraft. And it's just like, all right. And the other thing is that, by the way, I have no idea how I've not seen this, because I liked Warcraft as a kid. I have no idea how I didn't ever see this. I also loved video games and was really catching up with stuff all the time, but I guess not. But anyway, like I said, they deliver on that promise. But what's cool is a lot of people would have known the Warcraft name, and then to see this, it's like, what is this? This does not look like an RTS, right? This looks like something totally different. Like, there's clearly an emphasis on exploration in this trailer, and it's like, okay, what's this going to be? And then invariably they would, you know, have info coming out with this trailer. This is probably my favorite shot as far as just like, you know, subject, setting, coloration. Was really cool. Like I said, one of the themes of this was also color. Each one has a very distinct feeling, and that was very smart to show a diversity of the world and sort of all these different places we can explore and do battle, as we saw. Like, we get everybody fighting at the end, which is also really cool, because in a game where you're going to pick your class, you're going to pick your style of fighting, your equipment, it's super smart to show all that individually. But I have to say, sort of my full thoughts on it, review, if you will, is that it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. When you guys were like, why don't you go back and, you know, watch the original and everything from this year? In my head, I was like, yeah, I'll do that. But, you know, it might be a little rough. This is fantastic. And like I said, it has that sort of nostalgic softness to it. Once you get into probably like a little bit later, once stuff goes like fully HD and everything, there's almost this crispness that's too rigid to the CGI, and you can see every pixel and stuff. I love this era where it was just like this softness to it. Like I said, it reminds me of even like Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, FF10. Oh, FF10 cinematics are ridiculous. I still think some of the best ever done in gaming. This has that similar feeling of like, ooh, there's an organic feeling to it. It's really cool. And you can see that there's even like foliage movement and water in the background and stuff. Not very common for that time. But anyways, I thought it was awesome. This is probably my favorite sort of segment, like I said. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, obviously this must be super nostalgic to you guys who've been playing it for 20 years. I'm curious. I want to know in the comments, who of you was like, played it day one? Who's been playing it since day one and never stopped? Because I know people obviously have stopped. But who's never stopped? That would be such a flex. Never took a break. I'm a real one, man. I play it every single day. But anyways, you guys are the best. Again, I need to give a huge shout out to the World of Warcraft community. You know, as YouTubers, we put out videos with subject matter we haven't covered before. It's a big gamble. You don't know how it's going to be received. You don't know how the community is going to react. You guys have been incredible, and I'm very appreciative of you. So I do plan on going through these. Let me know if there's like any other cinematics you want to see. Like I said, a couple of people joined my Discord. Shout out to Taurius. Taurius came over to Twitch and we chatted and hopped in the Discord. Linked a lot of these videos, so thank you for that. And this is a really fun journey to be starting with you guys. So let me know what's up. And also, we will be covering other content for our usual programming on the channel in between these. So we'll probably work through this, you know, in a fun journey over the next coming weeks. But thank you everybody for being here, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.